going, everyone? It is Liam Carson here as we react to another episode of Supernatural with the 18th episode of Season 4. Yeah, after this, we've only got 4 more episodes left to go. I mean, I feel like I've blitzed through this season. It's been really enjoyable, and I think I said early on this season when we hit the midway point that I'm already seeing this season as my favorite already because of the fact that it's just been so gripping and it's just been so intense, with, of course, Dean's hell experience and his, I guess, connection with Castiel, and there's, of course, the issue with Sam. It's just been really incredible stuff, and yeah, last episode no exception. With the fact that, you know, it started off very confuddling because, you know, seeing Dean in a suit just like that was just having your mind like, okay, what's going on? Because this is not Dean's style, right? And as the episode progressed, it was just really, you know, impressive with how it tied to Dean's comments at the ending of episode 16. So yeah, it was just a really great episode that was just enjoyable all throughout. So yeah, and I'm excited to see where we do head for these final 5 episodes, because like I said, it is just crazy to imagine that we are not far off now from the end. We're like essentially a handful of episodes away now, to what has been to ending what has been a really fabulous and wonderful season that has just been a pleasure to experience. So yeah, why don't we get into this episode of Supernatural? It's episode 18 of season 4. Let's go.
Books. It was a series. Didn't sell a lot of copies though. And more of an underground cult following.
Oh, wait, whoa, that fourth wall is splintering into atoms. What the heck?
That's the first one, I think.
Supernatural by Carver Edlund.
What the?
Long and Lonely.
We're gonna need all the copies of Supernatural you got.
Oh my god! What the hell? It is too fucking early for this shit.
No rest for the wicked. Ends with
all the titles of the episodes.
Reiterate. Freaking insane. Oh, check it out. There's actually fans. There's not many of them, but still. Yeah. Although for fans, they sure do complain a lot. Listen to this. Simpatico says the demon storyline is trite, cliched, and overall craptastic.
Oh.
Yeah, well, screw you.
Are these
Simpatico,
actual comments?
It's a Slash fan.
As in Sam/Dean.
Oh.
Together.
Oh.
Like, together?
Yeah.
They do know we're brothers, right?
Doesn't seem to matter.
Oh, come on. That's just sick.
We
gotta find this Carver X.
Yeah.
Oh shit, the
These
blue
books.
fairy!
You know, they never really got the attention they deserved. All anybody wants to read anymore is that romance crap.
Books.
You know, Dr. Sexy MD. Please.
Right. Well, we're hoping that our article can shine a light.
What is this
on an
episode?
Big fans.
Awesome.
I have a feeling
You know what?
the day I, you know, get a tattoo, that's gonna be, oh no.
I got one too.
Wow. You are a fan.
Yeah, that tattoo's gonna be
His
not
name's
there.
Shirley, and he's a genius.
Shackle. House with trepidation. Did they really want to learn the secrets
He was on Lucifer.
that lay beyond
I
that door?
despised that prick on
Sam and Dean
Lucifer.
traded soulful looks.
I knew I saw his face
Then-
somewhere.
It's Dean.
Sam and Dean are fictional characters. I made them up. They're not real. Are those real guns?
Yep. This is real rock salt. These are real fake IDs.
Poor guy.
I gotta hand it to you guys. You really are my #1 fans.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, you're still there.
So he's...
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
not a hallucination.
Nope.
Well, there's only one explanation. Obviously, I'm a god.
You're not a god.
How else do you explain it? I write things and then they come to life? Yeah, no, I'm definitely a god.
I mean, he's been having visions and
cruel,
been like, you know
capricious
what?
god. I mean, horror is one thing, but to be forced to live bad writing. If I would have known it was real, I would have done another pass.
Chuck, you're not a god.
We think you're probably just psychic.
No.
I mean, the ghost ship
Our
episode
psychic,
was
you think it'd be
okay,
writing?
but Bugs...
Writing is hard.
It seems that some...
Brooding and pensive. I mean, I don't know how he's doing it, but this guy is doing it. I can't see your face, but those are definitely your brooding and pensive shoulders. You just thought I was a dick.
Guy's good.
Too good. I mean, obviously we saw him at the beginning, but... What the heck is going on for him to, like, basically write their lives into fiction?
Lilith patted the bed seductively. Unable to deny his desire, Sam succumbed, and they sank into the throes of fiery demonic passion.
Ah.
You're kidding me, right?
Well, maybe Lilith's
fine.
just
You don't-
pissed about the
I
whole
mean, come on,
copyright infringement shit.
Fiery, demonic Paula and drove off. The plastic tarp on the rear window flapping like the wings of a crow.
A tarp?
Yeah, on the rear window. And you drive it like that.
Well, he might be wrong about the details, but it doesn't mean he's wrong about the end result.
So we're just gonna run?
So we are a long way from ready for a face-to-face death match with Lilith.
Well, Sam's gonna have some kind of match apparently. Oh,
In the country.
Really? I'll just have the Cobb salad, please.
and so will Dean.
I'll have the veggie tofu burger.
He's not happy about that.
This whole thing's ridiculous.
Lilith is ridiculous.
The idea of me hooking up with her is...
Right. Something like that could never happen. Picking your battles. This is a battle that we are not ready to fight.
But I feel like with what we learned about Sam 2 episodes ago,
Oh my god. This is delicious.
okay.
Tofu is amazing.
I'm so sorry. I gave you the bacon cheeseburger by mistake.
Red room. Who's gonna make sure he has to drive the...
Hey!
Shit. Oh!
Seems to be where the story's headed.
Holy shit. I had a theory
Am I
the
strong
other
enough to stop
episode.
Lilith tonight?
I don't know. I haven't seen that far yet.
Shit, I'm just worried. More, it's not helping my worries.
Okay. My daughter's going through a doctor phase.
What are you talking about?
Feel better now.
Oh, the plastic. Oh shit! Now you've done it.
This man is to be protected. Why? He's a prophet of the Lord.
Oh shit! Oh! Oh fuck!
It's too preposterous. Not to mention arrogant. I mean, writing yourself into the story is one thing, but as a prophet, that's like M. Night level douchiness.
This is the guy who decides our fate. He isn't deciding anything. He's a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Conduit for the inspired word.
He's writing the story
Word of
for...
God.
Yeah.
What, like the New Testament?
One day, these books, they'll be known as the Winchester Gospel.
We get around this.
Around what?
This Sam Lilith love connection. How do we stop it from happening?
What the prophet has written can't be unwritten.
It's set in stone.
As he has seen it, so it shall come to pass.
Shit. Nah, so he's good. Oh my goodness.
Is writing the Gospel of us.
Shit.
Okay.
Okay, let's get the hell out of here.
This is mega.
No.
Sam!
Lilith is gonna slaughter you.
Maybe she will. Maybe she won't.
So
In
you
what
think
way?
you can take her?
There's that lack of honesty again. Boy.
Are you coming or not?
If he stays.
No.
For fuck's sake. Fuck's sake.
I need some help. I'm praying, okay? Now, come on.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Please.
Prayer's a sign of faith.
Yeah. Dean not
This is a good thing, Dean.
doing that before. Oh my goodness.
The time comes and you need me. Don't bother knocking.
Oh, oh my, oh my, oh.
Dean,
What?
you must understand why I can't intercede. Prophets are very special. They're protected.
I get that.
If anything threatens a prophet,
Is this
anything at
related to a seal?
all, an archangel will appear to destroy that threat. Archangels are fierce.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps the fearsome wrath of heaven would rain down on that demon. Just so you understand why I can't help.
Yeah, there was a little bit of crypticness there with Cass there, but at least he, you know, fully divulged
I didn't
why.
write this.
Okay, well then how about this? I've got a gun in my pocket, and if you don't come with me, I'll blow your brains out.
I think you said I was protected by an archangel.
Oh, interesting exercise. Let's see who the quicker draw is.
Dean. Oh, this is gonna be Lilith.
Killed off. Right before the good part starts.
Oh, that's a shame.
For it to go back to the way it was. Before I had angels to deal with 24/7. The good old days.
Were they good?
All baby blood all the time.
I mean, Dean went to hell. I
You
wouldn't
want
call
my
that
turn?
good.
Your head on a stick. Dean's, too. Swell. By the way, a contract with me will take more than a kiss.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Don't worry. The dental hygienist in here, she wants it bad.
No, Sam. Sam! Sam! Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. I had a feeling he was going to go for the...
I am the prophet, Chuck.
You've got to be joking.
No! Let's go! See, never doubt your characters, Chuck.
What? Don't know. She was telling the truth about one thing.
What's that?
She's not gonna survive the apocalypse. I'll make sure of that.
I mean, that's concerning, but...
People shouldn't know too much about their own destiny.
I don't like this. I do not like this.
You try, and I'll stop you.
What am I supposed to do?
What you always do.
Continue to
Right.
write the story. Continue to tell the future, I guess. Ugh. I mean, that's... I mean, the way that Zach said that, oh, we just bring you back to life. There is an element of torture there, isn't there? I mean... Whatever Zach... not Zach. Whatever Chuck saw... must be pretty apocalyptic. That's my... I feel like that's the go-to answer in terms of what he's... Cause we've only got like 4 episodes left now. So we've got to start pushing forwards in terms of the end game for this season. But yeah, oh my god, this episode, it started off blowing my mind, having Dean and Sam being incorporated into characters by one man's work. And you're thinking, okay, someone really, really went crazy behind the scenes. But then, again, like the last episode and how that paved into relevance to what Dean said at the end of episode 16, it was explained in a really, really superb manner, with Chuck being a prophet of the Lord, and, yeah, basically being one to tell the story, of, Dean and Sam. So yeah. And it kind of makes sense, I guess, as well, like how he didn't really recognize Dean and Sam as well, especially in regards to the visions that he saw. Whereas we did, because we know what Dean and Sam looks like, of course. But I guess it's the same with, you write about your Old and New Testaments and whatnot, and you've got, you don't exactly have a 100% accurate detail of what Jesus looks like, for example. So, hence why Dean and Sam look different in terms of the supernatural covers, I guess. Even if the visions say otherwise. It's just vague, really, I guess, at the end of the day. So, kind of like it's vague in terms of what the characters would actually be depicted. They might have different faces in terms of different depictions. So, yeah. But this episode was a lot, and I loved it. I loved it. Oh man, I really enjoyed this episode. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Even the beginning portion where it was just completely ludicrous, in regards to them basically adapting Supernatural into, its own fiction, really. Yeah, it was this inception, wasn't it? Because it wasn't just the idea of, okay, we've got these two characters who drive around, save the day, etc. Like, there were chapters based on the episode titles itself, and even the story concluded with Dean going to hell, aka No Rest for the Wicked, which is obviously the title for the last episode of season 3. And there was a little bit of commentary that I picked up recently because I just posted my No Rest for the Wicked reaction on YouTube, and I think I did see someone talk about the fact that was supposed that there was a worry that was going to be the be-all end-all for Supernatural. So I think there was a little bit of a commentary there. So yeah, but that fourth wall was obliterated. It wasn't shattered. It wasn't destroyed. I think obliterated is even putting it kindly. But there were just, it was just really, really great stuff because for the first, 10 minutes of the episode, it was really, really fun in terms of the commentary before it delved into the more heavier side of things. Such as the lack of free will, such as, of course, the fact that Chuck was tied or tethered. That's a more elegant way of putting it, to an archangel. Yeah, I think archangel. I can never pronounce it right. So yeah, it's just like with the Sandman. I can never say Corinthian. I don't know. I say Corinthian. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent. Anyways, no, like I said, the first 10 minutes, you could see this episode was having a lot of fun before it delved into the more heavier side of things. They were like, okay, let's screw around. And even in the middle portion of things, there was still a little fun to be had, but there was this more leaning gravity or gravitas towards the more sincere stuff. So yeah, but it was just really, really brilliant about how this episode was not just talking about not just listing, I guess, book titles to specific episodes, but they made commentary on certain episodes that may not be well received, because there was that moment where Chuck was like, was making a comment about bad writing, etc. It's one thing to face demons, I think he said, but it's another to, have bad writing. And he did mention the ghost ship episode, which I think it was episode 12 of season 3. I can't remember, but I know which one it was. I thought it was okay. Bugs, on the other hand... So, I am glad that there was a bit of self-awareness. And the consensus I got from that episode, I remember, was that a lot of people were not fond of that, of the quality of that episode as well. It was tacky and it was just ridiculous, not in a good way. So yeah, but yeah, and they even made a mention about the community as well, the supernatural community, I guess, because they were pulling out all the stops in terms of not just in terms of like adapting Dean and Sam into characters, but also the book titles as well, and the meta commentary about how certain episodes may not be well received, but also the community. Because obviously I am not too tuned in to the community, just in case, I stumble upon the odd spoiler and that's like, well. But I am aware, of course, of certain people who do love supernatural. Like I am aware of about how certain people might respond to certain characters, etc. Just like again, going back to what I've just recently posted on YouTube, everyone's like remarking about Castiel because I posted episode 1 of season 4, and everyone's just being like, "Hey, Castiel," etc. So yeah, and thankfully the community who do follow me on YouTube or Patreon or Twitter or whatever, they are respectful in the essence that obviously they're not going to delve into spoilers, because why ruin the experience, I guess. So yeah, but I did love, like, because there were like comments about there are people who lean towards Dean, there are people who lean towards Sam, and then there is a slash. And I was like, so, yeah. I mean, look, people will ship anyone with anyone, okay? So, I shouldn't be too surprised that people ship Sam and Dean. I shouldn't be too surprised. It's not something I would, yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I think I would be on board with, because, incest, etc. But then again, there's Danny and John as well, but that's a completely different matter. So yeah, we're not going into Game of Thrones talk, especially the last season, so, yeah. Anyways, oh no, I mean, if you saw the beginning part of the, I mean, I enjoyed this episode all throughout, and I was, on the edge of my seat, but the first part of this episode just had my mind just thrown across every side of the room. Like, it was just hitting all of the sides, because it was so absurd. It was just ridiculous, and I was thinking, what the heck is going on? But like I said, this episode, you could tell it had a lot of fun in terms of like, if you're gonna do an episode where you got some profit detailing the adventures of Dean and Sam into legend, really, into something that is essentially going to be a new testament, you may as well afford to have a little bit of fun, because it's not like this show is a stranger to not just having meta commentary and whatnot, but also it's not exactly a show that's a stranger to having a bit of fun now and again. So, I mean, last episode we started off on a very ludicrous manner because I was just thinking, you know, Dean in a suit. Not something that is a common, not something common, is it? So yeah, I mean, unless it was one of those FBI suits, etc. Of course, but the suit that he wore, I guess, very vibrant and all of that. So yeah, but yeah, it was just really, really incredible, and delving into the more, I guess, sincere side of things, I guess. I really, really did love how, Chuck spoke to me as someone who does write his own fictions and all of that. I do get those moments of, I could imagine myself, like, sometimes in dreams or sometimes at the gym even. There are just flashes in my head. I don't know if this accounts for the way that, my certain pieces of my mind operate, but, there are certain things that I see in my mind that I'm like, write that down. And I don't know, Chuck spoke out to me as someone who wanted to adapt something into, into fiction, etc. I have been wanting to do my own Crisis on Infinite Earth series, because it is one of my favorite stories, but I'm molding it into my own iteration, etc. So incorporating I guess bits and pieces of myself into things, and yeah, I think this episode really, really did speak out to me in regards to certain pieces about Chuck, etc. So, there was even there was even commentary that I could relate to, like Ratings Hard, etc. And I understand, because I want to write a certain amount of words, so it's not like a 20-minute episode or whatever. And sometimes you just got to fill in certain bits and pieces. Certain like with I guess Chuck and his visions, certain pieces that you do want to incorporate, and then there are like stuff in between, like, okay, how do you make this flow really, really well, etc. So, and even I guess even like Chuck, I can be a critic of earlier work, etc. But because I'll always look at like my first series, etc., and I'm like, there's some things that I could improve on. So yeah, this is gonna fly over a lot of people's heads, but I just speak from experience as someone who does my own audio series, about how this episode kind of touched the writer inside of me in a sense. So because I do love my writing. I do love creating my own fictions. I do love incorporating bits and pieces of myself and whatnot into works of fiction. Because creativity is really, really great. Like I have a world inside here, basically, or a universe, I guess, in this instance, and it's just so captivating. So I feel like Chuck kind of spoke out, like especially seeing certain things, like I'll be so focused at the gym, or like there are even cases where I will have dreams, like the other week. I remember waking up at like 5 a.m. because sometimes my body does that. It will wake up at a ludicrous time before going to sleep again, of course. but there was a moment where I had a dream, or I guess an idea, basically, within a dream. And it worked. I'm like, holy shit, I need to write this down before I forget, because I'm not going to be able to remember it, am I? So, yeah, like I said, there are certain bits and pieces in this episode that, what happened with Chuck, it really hit a spot for me, so yeah. But, as I said, this episode really got deeper as the episode went along, especially when it touched upon free will, because, you know, it does beg the question about how much free will do we have, especially if Chuck is being, I want to say forced, because you had Zach show up at the end, and he was essentially like, if you want to help them out, you got to continue writing, basically. He saw something that freaked him out, which I guess is the ending part of this season. So, yeah. But it might be something that is very, very, I don't know, something that looks very dire, I guess, but you don't know what happens next. So it might be, that might be what his, that might be what he was seeing. So, it's the same with when Lilith showed up, and there was this idea that Sam and Lilith would do. And thankfully, that was all averted. Sam was ready to stab her, etc., and all of that. So yeah, but I do want to talk about that later. But yeah, with like I said, free will, it does become a very, very interesting subject, because you've got someone who you know, writes moment to moment, I guess, on what will happen to Dean and Sam, such as the burger situation. I mean, you had Dean and Sam in that diner that was and they were basically like, okay, we can alter certain things. We just have to not argue. You just have to order a different burger. And he still had the burger that was written, unbeknownst to him, of course, but still, it's just very, very, it does touch a very, very interesting subject in regards to, you know, how much free will does a person really have, I guess. So, like, especially now that we are dealing heavy stuff in season 4, such as angels, and the idea of course, relating to angels, about, you know, Castiel, and him having certain doubts about, you know, God's will, etc., all that jazz. We have been dealing with quite a few heavy subjects this season, and it's just been portrayed really, really well. So, so if Chuck is writing about this season, then he's got to be proud of this season, because this season has been stellar. No, but in all seriousness, it was just, yeah, like, obviously you had the brothers try to alter the path. They were talking about, you turn left, we turn right, and I was just thinking, okay, it's Doctor Who all over again. But at the end of the day, they still sailed the course that was set for them, really, despite trying to steer the boat the other way. So yeah, but I did really love the idea, of course, that Chuck, he was basically writing basically the Winchester Gospel, which buying a heartbeat, it would just be very, very interesting, like with the fact that this is now becoming a bit more of a I would say a real thing, really, for the Winchesters. I mean, obviously there is this whole situation about the apocalypse and Dean's importance into things, as well as Sam's as well, because obviously you had Chuck show up in regards to in regards to talking about Sam and what is going on in regards to the whole, you know, tasting of the blood, I guess. And he even said that, you know, Dean, he's got this idea of, he's got this responsibility to stopping the apocalypse. But you're also a significant role in terms of the apocalypse as well. And I said the other episode, with the fact that Dean broke the first seal, I feel like they're going to parallel it to Sam breaking the last. If Sam plays an integral role in this whole apocalypse shenanigans, and with what Chuck said to him at the very end. Well, not the very end, but at the end of that scene, should I say. It doesn't help whatsoever. It does not help my concerns whatsoever. So, yeah, but like I said, this is becoming a bit more of a serious deal for the Winchesters. So, yeah, especially if you've got this prophet writing on behalf of God. That even some of the angels are just like baffled about how the process works. It is becoming, and not just that though, but it's getting to a point where Dean is is starting to pray, which it's not something he would have done in earlier seasons, but things are getting a bit more, things are getting a bit more mind blowing. So, yeah, it was just really like just hearing that drop about basically they're writing a New Testament, I guess, the Supernatural Testament. That kind of sends chills down your spine, because it's like, holy shit, this is not something that you just pass by in a bookstore or whatever. This is not a situation that lacks significance. This is big stuff. So, yeah. And like I said, there was a lot that happened in this episode that was just absolutely tantalizing. Especially with Lilith confronting Sam. And as Sam said, and Sam, I feel like, has a good gauge on her mentality. She's scared. She knows that the current path I'm charting on, it's getting too bright here. It's Castiel. He's showing up. The path that I'm on at the minute, I'm not surviving this one. And you had her make this offer, etc. She's being, I guess, as generous as Lilith can be, basically. And she's bricking it at this moment. So, and I feel like Sam has a good gauge on her in regards to, she's scared, she's bricking it at this minute. She knows she's not surviving this at the minute. So, yeah. But I do want to talk about that moment in regards to the brothers squabbling, which seems to be like it should be a tagline really for Supernatural, really. But you had this situation where they were talking about encountering Lilith. Sam wanted to stay and fight. He wants to make sure that he can live in peace, etc., and all of that. And not just that though, but with the way that his abilities have been growing, he feels ready. He feels ready to throw hands with Lilith. Dean, on the other hand, feels like it would be a suicide mission to encounter Lilith. They're not ready yet, which is understandable. It's not like Dean is cowering away or whatever. It's not like, I mean, obviously the last few episodes have been pretty brutal for Dean. Especially with how Alistair beat the living shit out of him. And, Lilith is no joke whatsoever. They know that too well, and they might have a bit of ammunition with Castiel especially, but you need to be ready to know when your battles can be played out, which is which is understandable in regards to why Dean was like, no, we're not doing this dance with Lilith. We're not ready. If we wanna stop the apocalypse and all of that, we need to be smart about this, which I understand. With Sam, he feels ready. That demon blood, that might be, you know, fucking up common sense, I guess. But there's also that way of wanting to just rest, etc., and wanting to stop everything, etc. And Dean does too, don't get me wrong, but he wants to make sure that they can survive this, and they're not going to at this current rate. So I can understand. They've got to stop all the seals from being broken, and they can't do that if they're dead. So yeah, I do not blame Dean whatsoever for thinking with a bit of clarity in this episode, because of the fact that you've got to be ready to decide when to pick your battles. And yeah, Sam's been hell-bent in trying to stop things, but it's going to get to a point where you're going to get yourself killed. And yeah, and Lilith knows that as well. Like, self-sacrifice is the Winchester way, she said. But they want to come out of this the top dogs. And, you know, Dean's trying to speak with a bit of common sense. So, yeah. But, man, this was a really, really fantastic episode. I really loved it. Like, from the meta commentary at the beginning to just the more serious stuff with Chuck being tied. Like, even the bit with Castiel and Dean, where, you know, Castiel, at first it was like, it looked like Castiel was being back to his cryptic ways when he said, when he told Dean about the fact that, no, there's no way of undoing the prophecy. It's set in stone, basically. But he, like, he then had a moment of suggestion to Dean, saying, but I will say this, get Chuck and Lilith in the same room and it's a bad day for her, basically. So I really liked that moment. I feel like that's very fundamental in regards to what happened in episode 16, where Dean was just done with this whole bullshit. He was done with the crypticness. He was done with the lack of clarity. He was done with everything, even the weight of the world on his shoulders. And this is a moment for Castiel to basically show, to show Dean that I am on your side. I want to help you out. And so there is that little bit of suggestion there. So there is a little bit of a I wouldn't say an established trust from Castiel, but it's a step in the right direction, and that's important at the end of the day, because you know, with Dean, he needs to have a reason to, you know, whenever Castiel shows up, he needs to have some reason to, you know, take what Castiel says with a grain of acknowledgement, I guess. And like I said, with episode 16, that was just so much. He was just pissed off, understandably. So Castiel's acknowledging this. And so this is a step in the right direction, I would say. So, yeah. But overall, superb episode. Freaking loved it. Yeah, what a wonderful episode. And, you know, it just has me excited for, like, the final few episodes of the season, because you can imagine that the end game of season 4 is going to be mega. But, I mean, these last few episodes, especially episode 16, especially this episode, have just been really fundamental and really exhilarating and just superb. I've just really thought that yeah, I've just really thought that things have just been really, really amazing as of recent for Supernatural. And it's just helping the case that this season, I think, I don't know. I might be rushing things a bit here, but I feel like I am in a comfortable position to I think it is my final answer that season 4 is my favorite so far. It's, I mean, there's just been so much that has just been juicy and enthralling, and it's just been a really, really captivating journey. So yeah, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!